This is like lunch and breakfast together, so it's like a nice big hearty meal for me to eat. You can see it's a very high protein meal. You got 72 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbs basically, and 25 grams of fat. It's a very good filling meal, trust me. Like, this is what I prefer, because in the morning usually I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I'm about to eat this right now, and the reason I'm changed is because I'm probably going to go to the gym and do leg day. I was feeling a little bit sleepy, so literally I just went and had like another shower to kind of wake me up and get ready to do squats. But literally, my newest video just went live as well, guys. That is the thumbnail I used, and the title was called I Couldn't Get It Up. Now that I look at it, it's funny. When I actually made the thumbnail, I didn't realise that I'd actually look completely naked. It was meant to just be frustration, but then because my boxers got cropped off the bottom, it literally looks like I was naked. Right, gym session done. Now time to find food. Literally, you're gonna see like 1,000 outfits today. Basically, because I knew I was gonna be sweating, I wasn't going straight home from gym, I bought change clothes. Before we go home, basically my parents just called me and more or less said I have to come home, well, to their house, and more or less go through all my childhood boxes that they've just packed up because they're gonna throw it away. Of all these boxes, I can only see me keeping the stuff that's in here. But the only thing I've really got an eye on is the exercise bike. If they're not using that, I would love to take that. Alright, coming on to the next meal I'm about to cook is going to be some tilapia. That's around half a kilo there. Then I got some sweet potatoes and asparagus, which I've never cooked before, so I'm going to eat that as a meal. But while I'm cooking that, as that's going to take a bit of time, I'm going to eat some fruits I'm going to snack on throughout the day. I'm going to eat that. Got an apple here, 230 grams worth, and I'm also going to have a protein shake. The protein I'm going to use is, this is my protein kind of section here. You know what, no, we're going to go to the other backup protein section. We're going to go for the vanilla my protein one today. Alright, queuing the best apple slicer in the world. It's just like that, bam, you press down, and then you got the beautiful thing, £1 on eBay. Alright, this goes without saying, but obviously you wash the fruits, and I've just done that. So basically, I'm going to eat these strawberries throughout the day, so I don't mind how much I eat right now. I'm just going to have enough to like snack on, and that's it. More or less going to eat the whole apple and about half the tub of strawberries right now, while I drink on my protein shake and start preparing the meals. If you're enjoying this video, by the way, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, give the video a nice like, and share it with a friend. By the way, it's almost 6 o'clock. Alright guys, I feel tempted now. I want to more or less test out these. So I've changed around on my foods I'm going to eat today because I want to fit this in. I'm still going to be looking at 2,000 calories as my total. But with one of these, you're going to see how it tastes. Popcorn flavour, peanut butter and sunflower seeds. It smells very peanutty. I like it. It's like, it almost tastes like sweet and salted popcorn, but except they've added peanut butter in it. So imagine like a pack of sweet and salted popcorn, and someone is pouring peanut butter over it. I know it may sound random, but it tastes really good. Alright, and here are the seasonings I'm going to use to season the tilapia right now. What you use is like a little sprinkling of each one really. That's quite strong, so don't go overboard on it. 250 grams of tilapia. This is about 550 grams of raw sweet potato. And this is obviously a bag of asparagus, which is 250 grams. So this is literally 2 days worth of food for me. Quick tip that I'm about to do right now is that when you're cutting the sweet potatoes, you haven't got to make fries. Like literally, people are spending way too long trying to make these like rectangular fries when you don't really need to. All I do now is just cut like it's a banana now, and it ends up in circles, but it's exactly the same thing, exactly the same taste. It's just the point that it saves you like at least 5 to 10 minutes. Because when I used to like literally cut these into like fries, like rectangles, it used to take so much longer. So everyone keeps telling me, oh, it's the hassle of making sweet potato fries. It's really not that long. You wash the potato, you slice it, you dab a little bit of seasoning on it. It's that easy. You don't even need the seasoning if you don't want it. Alright, all we have to do now is more or less put those in the pan, and you can just season it here and just like mixing it up. And these are the seasonings I'm going to use. A little sprinkling of each. Okay, it's a bit more than I expected, but just mix it in. More or less, make sure it's kind of evenly seasoned. And when you cut them, obviously you should have aimed to try and make them the same thickness so they all cook around the same amount of time. But yeah, overall that's it. Have the oven on a high heat and more or less put them in, and you should take around 20 to 25 minutes. Alright, let's check on the tilapia. Normally I break the tilapia up into pieces because it's just a lot easier to like move around, but I'm actually going to try and keep them in solid pieces purely because of presentation purposes will look better. If it does become a hassle though, I'm just going to chop them up like I always do. It's a lot easier. Yeah, it's becoming a hassle to move around, so I'm just going to do what I always do. So yeah, break it all up. Cooks a lot easier as well. Alright, next up we have got the asparagus to try and cook. I know it says on the packet you can boil it or steam it. I always fail boiling veg. Like every single time I've tried to like boil veg, it gets so mushy and I just hate the taste of it. It's like bags of water. And steaming I've never fully perfected either. But I did like a quick little search on YouTube, and basically I saw like a little recipe. It's like 3 minutes long. So more or less you can kind of fry it in oil on here, like a low fat oil, and more or less take it from there. So we're going to do that. Probably going to marinate it in a little bit of sauce. But all I'm going to use is this. I know like you're probably thinking like, bro, you don't track a lot of shit. Things that I use on almost a daily basis I don't track. It just becomes so pedantic. Like things like this little 1 calorie spray, and like, well maybe the Nando's, but like the other things that I use very small amounts of, like the cayenne pepper, the mixed peppers, and the mixed seasonings and stuff like that. I use those all the time and they're not really that much. I know if you use like crazy amounts and you do it all the time, then obviously the calories add up, but for the kind of lifestyle I live, it's fine. If you're prepping for like a show or something, then you should definitely be tracking those things. But for what I'm doing is living life, getting whole ready or whatever, that's perfectly fine not to track that. So don't get, especially if you're a beginner as well, don't get so into tracking every single minute thing. You know what I mean? Track the basics, the main foods, you know what I mean? Keep shit simple. Alright, it's been in there a couple minutes now. So what I'm going to do is add in some Nando's sauce and some pink Himalayan sea salt, and then start to saute this bitch, and hopefully it comes out right. Alright, that's literally how much sauce I've added, not much, just sprinkled some on, give it a bit of flavour. Alright, so here we are, we got the sweet potatoes cooked right now, got the asparagus. I didn't end up putting the whole packet there, so that's 250 grams of asparagus, 500 grams of tilapia, and that was around 500 grams of sweet potato. So literally I'm going to have half of everything and put it on the plate. Alright, and here we go, we have got the meal. We've got all the nice bits of food here. We've got a whole lot of protein, got a nice bit of fiber system here with the vegetables. Also got asparagus for the extra veg, and you guys that watch this channel know that I usually hate veg, and I've never tried asparagus before, so let's do the moment of truth. That's the personal reason why I put the Nando's on it, to kind of like give it more of a spice taste. It's weird, it tastes kind of like a really plain version of a potato, as odd as that sounds. It doesn't taste like how I expected it to taste. And in case you want to know the time, it is almost 9 o'clock. Alright, before I devour this delicious meal, basically I want to cover over a few things. The reason I did this full day of eating actually was because people asked on Snapchat, and a lot of them kept asking me things about obviously how to lose weight, diet to lose weight, because I guess summer's coming, so a lot of people are trying to look for that, you know, the summer body and all that stuff. And they always ask me what's my calories, what's my macros, and they want to follow it. And the one thing you need to realize is that everybody is different. You can't just follow my macros, especially when I'm asking some of these people like what's your stats, as in what's your height, your weight, your age, and they're like totally off me. They're like, some of them are like 5'11", different sizes. I'm like, you can't just follow my macros. The foods I eat is a good indication of what foods you can fill, but the volume of each food really depends on what your maintenance calories is. So for example, I'm having like around 2,000 calories right now. If your body needs to have 3,000 or 2,500, you can't eat the exact same amounts I'm eating and follow the exact same macros to the gram. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind saying the percentages you can follow, but a lot of people always ask me the gram number. A lot of people just assume there's one blanket like macro set for everyone, and that's not the case. So the main key for like having a fat loss diet, figure out your maintenance, not mine or someone else's. Figure out your maintenance calories by tracking at least like 5 days of a random week. Figure out what your average amount of calories are that you hit every single day. Then that's normally your maintenance calories if you're not gaining weight. Then subtract around 150 to 500 calories from that in a deficit. You're in a deficit, and then carry on working out. If you don't want to do it all through food, obviously you can add in cardio as well. Personally, I wouldn't do any more cardio than like 45 minutes, especially for the early stages. That's normally like the last like final 2 weeks, then I'd start having cardio at those kind of lengths. But really, when you're starting off trying to cut down and stuff like that, a nice 10 to 25 minutes cardio at the most, and try and use food for the most part. But make sure the food you are eating are filling and they're actually like good foods as well. You can mix in other stuff. As you saw earlier, I was eating popcorn, bars and stuff like that. But you also need to make sure you're getting like a good varied kind of diet, like getting your fruits, getting your vegetables. But anyway, I'm about to eat this now because it's getting a bit cold. So I'm going to eat this and I'll get back to you my final meals, which are like little snacky things probably. And then hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll show you my macros and calories that I reached on screen. And if you guys liked any of these meals I had in this video, feel free to try them out and Snapchat me or anything. I like when people Snapchat me the foods or meals that I prepare and see how you do them. So yeah, I'm about to eat because I'm hungry. By the way, I've more or less finished it all. I'm just going to eat the last sweet potato. The tips. Are you meant to eat the tips? Like, I have no idea. I'm not going to Google that shit, so what's the consensus? Feel free to let me know if I'm meant to eat this asparagus tips or not. Alright people, we are moving on to the last thing we're about to eat today. So what we're going to go for from the cupboard, it is these corn thins. Basically they're like rice cakes, but they're made out of corn. And when I say this is the best one I've tried, there is another one. Excuse the alcohol, sometimes I do get turned. Let's see. These are the ones I used to get, but these taste a little, I don't know. They taste okay, but they're a bit more grainier. Whereas these, they're a bit more expensive, but I prefer these much more. And they taste like plain popcorn. Another thing that's high in fiber, and it's 23 calories per of the rice cakes. They are quite thin, but they have like a nice taste to it. And when you add peanut butter to it, it tastes really good. So what we're going to do is have 2 of these corn cakes with 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. When I say that is delicious, literally this is like having that bar I had earlier on today. Basically it's popcorn with peanut butter. This is basically what this becomes. So remember that I told you that literally back in the days when I used to always eat this, I used to get like at least 3 Snapchats a week of people showing me corn cakes, rice cakes. And I have 2, as you can see they're quite thin. And basically 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Okay, when it comes to the peanut butter now, make sure you're getting a natural peanut butter. So all it is 100% nuts, nothing else. Don't get Sun Pack, get like a good decent brand. I get mine from MuscleFood. Basically I get a lot of my stuff that I ate in this video from MuscleFood. The tilapia, the egg whites, all of that stuff's from MuscleFood. So basically I'm just gonna paste it on. Yeah. Alright, so I'm basically going to eat these right now. But before I close out this video, I more or less went over the foods in this video that I've ate that I feel like would be good for those of you out there that's trying to like lose weight, trying to get your fat loss diet on. So yeah, we'll go over that and more or less. Hopefully it'll help some of you guys out with some of the tips. Alright, let's finish off this video now so I can get back to watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But basically, let's talk about the things I ate today. The things I would recommend especially would be the high fiber foods such as the apples I had in the morning or around lunchtime. Basically the high fiber foods really do fill you up a lot more, which means that when you're full you're less likely to binge eat. And the fact that it's a fruit as well, like fruit and veg, is really good to get into your diet anyway, because a lot of people always neglect that. Like they do if it fits your macros, but they often like forget the micronutrients. Other things I had, which was the asparagus. There's loads and loads of different health benefits of asparagus. So you can go Google those shits, but the top ones I can think of is it's a diuretic. My main final thoughts to leave you guys with is just remember there is no perfect fat loss diet, because that's the main thing people always ask, what's the best fat loss diet? There is no best. Some things work differently for different people. That's what it is at the end of the day. You just need to find out what works for you and or what you can actually sustain. And make sure that you include things that you do like as well, because when you include foods that you do like into the mix, you're less likely to fall off track. And like, for example, I like pizzas. So what did I do? I figured out a way to eat pizzas in my diet where it's not too bad for me. Like those little protein pittas or whatever I make, they're really filling and they taste great. There's no point finding something that may work for you but you can't keep it up because you don't like the foods. For example, every single body, if they eat like quote unquote straight bro foods, you're gonna see results. But not everyone can like maintain that sort of diet because it's very plain foods, very like just rigid kind of diet. Not many people can adhere to that, you know what I mean? So even though technically like physiologically you will definitely see results if you eat bro foods, if you can't sustain that diet for more than a week, 2 weeks, there's no point. You need something you can more or less do for the rest of your life basically, depending on how long you're into this lifting lifestyle. So that's the words I'm gonna leave you with. Hopefully I've been showing you the macros kind of trailing across my face on screen so you know what I hit. I think basically just on 2,000 calories. I went I think over on my carbs a little bit but under on my fats and protein by a bit. Protein, personally, I'm happy when I get over 175 grams. Anything above that, I'm screaming for joy. I don't need to have the actual 200 grams of protein. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please share the video out, and obviously thumbs it up and comment below if you want to see me do more full day of eatings. And if you like this longer version of a full day of eating, please let me know below as well, because I always use you guys' like feedback into what future videos I'm going to do. So don't stay quiet, don't just watch the video on pre and say nothing. If you enjoyed it or there's something you think I could do to make it better, let me motherfucking know. So this video hopefully has been a good video for you guys, and those of you that need a long video for cardio, I've hooked you up. Peace out, stay getting gains, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.